very true, as they are gonna eventually go into the champion select here between these two teams. Um, Not 100% sure what to expect on the side of AES. Um, they have quite a lot of possibilities. Things like a Gnar, for example, could be taken away. Things like a Darius could be taken away from their top laner Steel Armor, as he both still plays them a lot, but also has mastered them pretty well in his mastery points tree system thing. Gragas and Nidalee going to be taken away. I think Gragas is something the support has been playing a lot of, if I'm not mistaken, on the side of AES. Could be wrong. Could be another support that I'm looking at. Echo taken away. Something we don't really see often, something we don't really see a lot, but he does get taken away eventually here from the side of AES.
We do see another bank coming through. The Kai'Sa from Mandrago being taken away, having so much success on the champion in the Open Tour in general. Has played it as a beast. Of course, we haven't seen his Vayne for a bit. If AES is going for a tanky lineup, which they could, because we see that the jungler can play some tanks as well here. You could see that coming out, where the first pick should be rather flexible, and the Jax isn't banned this time for Mortar. Could we finally see him playing the Jax here?
Ooh, I mean, we've seen it left open more than once against Mortar.
Well, last game it was banned.
Yeah, then it was. But last weekend we saw it, I think twice we saw it open. Twice we said possibly we're gonna look for a Jax pick. It's gonna be Seraphine, which I believe is gonna go Hank Hankerson's way. Because I don't think that that our lovely support player plays that. He enjoys more the Nautilus, Leona, etc., etc.
Yeah, had some decent games on Nautilus, starting it from last week, and first week he played almost exclusively Leona, I think, through the whole Open Tour. Orianna being picked up this time. They don't want to risk Hank taking it, if potentially Seraphine would go for a flex support position. Of course, Hank was able to do some insane shockwaves in their game against Sector 1. And we'll see if Doctorcan is able to do the same. And they are hitting KVM with the PTSD by picking up Senna again.
Oh.
Need to play it, and Hank, is he gonna say, okay, you pick my Orianna? Well, I just played against Azir. I can do that as well. I will pick that one up. Not sure if he's gonna though, because he is more of a control mage.
It's one of his highest mastery champions, so he could very well pick up the Azir. Hasn't played a lot of it lately, but it's still one of his highest mastery champions. He's gonna pick it up eventually, so that is gonna mean that the Seraphine is going towards the support role. Azir is gonna go into the mid lane, and now the AD carry and the mid lane have been picked on the other side. The support in the mid lane here. I'm expecting the AD carry to be picked up here, maybe a Jhin, or yeah, that's the other option. Jungler picking up the Hecarim, of course. We've seen Oli play Hecarim several times. He plays it well most of the time, if not all the time. So this is going to be a scary pony. They're going to have to beware of the ganks, because we all know pony ganks stroke.
And I love the Hecarim pickup as well, because Orianna and Senna both not mobile. They can be killed pretty fast, and Rengar being picked up for Max here, and he is a Rengar main. We haven't seen Rengar so far in the Open Tour, but I wonder what he's gonna do with it, because of course that moment when you see the eye above your champion and in 2 seconds I'm dead, is that gonna be the case, or is he gonna jump in, get CC, get pushed back by the wall, or anything? I must say, when I see a Rengar and I see that the top lane still needs to jump, I'm always thinking of Poppy. Because Poppy just has that built-in, I stop your jump and I'm just gonna stand next to my carry, and if you jump, you're not gonna reach it. But I'm not sure if Mortar is a Poppy player or if they are going to consider that pick in this situation.
Yeah, and there's the Gnar ban that we did talk about earlier. Plays it a lot. Has a high mastery on the Gnar as well. Possibly maybe a Darius ban as well, unless they know what to do against that and they don't mind the Darius, which, you know, kind of falls off if he doesn't really get ahead. If he's not hyper fed, he does go down, and they take away Jin and Samira, and Kai'Sa. A lot of targeted bans towards Maindrago, which are basically his 3 main champions at this
Don't
point.
want to let him carry.
He has Ezreal left, possibly Misfortune, of course, left there as well. As
Vayne?
Ivan is being hovered. Vayne, I've seen him on Vayne a couple times, but I mean against the team that they're showing right now,
Yeah, that's not the best pick, but still, he is the Vayne man.
probably not going to go for it though. I think,
Let's see.
I don't know. Is he going to go Ezreal? Is he going to go
Oh,
Misfortune?
To be honest, Sivir wouldn't be bad because you can speed up your pony and he just goes in the backline, destroys them all. I would like that, but we'll probably see something more like a
No
Sivir.
way.
Viego is not gonna be picked up here,
Top
I
lane.
think. It could be, but I mean, we have no info on Mortar's Viego mastery.
It's new though.
True, it could be. Could you look at her? No, he's just one big troll.
Viego
and
is
they are going for
not allowed,
Ezreal.
by the way. Viego is banned across the board. So
Oh,
he's not
yeah,
allowed to be
makes
played. And
sense.
so eventually it is going to be Ezreal, as all his other AD carries have been banned out. We talked about it. The only thing he had left basically was Ezreal. And of course, Ezreal, Seraphine, quite a lot of poke, survivability in the lane. And then, you know, the double ultimate. If Seraphine hits her ultimate, True Shot Barrage is basically a given. And there it is, baby. The Wukong Mortar.
The Bonky Monkey King.
The Tunk is back!
And the question is, what are they gonna play against him? Because Mortar's record on Wukong super solid. He has been playing the champion with great success before.
Aatrox.
They might go for the Aatrox here. It is one of Steel Armor's better champions. He does play it quite a lot. That does mean that there is like tons of damage on the side of AeS here, and their front line is a little bit less because you do have Aatrox with the healing that can flank, gets the heals, gets the shield from his team, and Braum that's able to block, but it's definitely not the same front line that we saw from the comp from Sector 1 in the previous game. And KVM, they're all about their initiation and their initial burst, because you have years and years of CC. When Seraphine hits the ult, Wukong follows up, Hecarim is there, the True Shot barrage comes through. I mean, if someone is still standing at that point, you're lucky. Sans will have to make sure that his Unbreakable is up at the right time to block a lot of that damage. And I am a little bit surprised that Bisco is gonna play Seraphine, because so far we haven't seen him on anything else than a heavy tank engaged champion. So can he play this champion to great success? That's the question.
Of course, Seraphine, not the most difficult champion. You press all the buttons,
No.
and that's it, basically.
Is that how you play League in general?
Of course, the thing
Pressing
is,
buttons?
the thing with Seraphine is you have to use your passive on the right skill. You know, are you gonna use it on your Q for the damage? You want to use it on your E for the bind? Do you want to use it on your W for the heals? Depending on the situation, you're gonna want to use it on different things, which, you know, turns a decent Seraphine into a godlike Seraphine, I guess. That's the difference between good Seraphines and not as good Seraphine players. So that's a bit of a difference. And of course, once the passive is down, you need to cast, 3 skills to get it back, and then on your 4th you get it again, you know, whatever it is. The thing is,
what I
however,
like?
French fries.
Correct, go on. No, it is the comp from AeS here in general, the potential that they have on in the mid lane. They have the Rengar that can just run straight to mid, stealth, get the ball on him. He jumps on Azir. Meanwhile, when the shockwave comes down, Senna just aims her ultimate in the middle of the shockwave, and Azir is gone. There is no way to survive that if you do not have your flash up.
That's true.
I mean, Rengar Orianna is super scary, and we don't see it often just because Rengar doesn't see that much play in tournaments in general.
Anywhere.
But here it is possible. I mean, I do remember it being played with a Shen as well. That he just gets a Shen ult. You suddenly have a Rengar and a Shen out of nowhere jumping on your ass. It's super scary when you combine it with global. So, Mad Max, I'm really curious how you are going to bring this champion to the Rift here.
Yeah, we'll have to see if the Rengar can pop off. Of course, as you said, able to jump onto basically any carry and one-shot them eventually. Um, However, with the Seraphine, the Empowered W might be a little bit more difficult. Azir has some potential to get away, Ezreal has potential to get away, so it is possible for them to get out, but not always as simple as it might seem. On the side of KVM, once again, team fighting composition. 5v5. Wukong goes in, Azir in the backline hitting. Ezreal gonna be able to, do his thing. Hecarim gonna engage with the Wukong. Seraphine has the charm potential lockdown as well onto multiple targets. So there's a big 5v5 potential once again on the side of KVM. They have the late game insurance with the Azir. Also Ezreal into the late game pretty strong. On the other side, they have the Senna, which is late game insurance, Orianna, which is, decent late game insurance. And yeah, they have Aatrox for the mid game, KVM has Wukong for the mid game. Both teams pretty well rounded and possibilities to go either way at this point.
We do see here in the loading screen that Mandrago will be running with teleport, so he does not have any cleanse or any combat summoner to aid him. That does mean he will get a little bit more farm than Garank here, because he has a free reset, instantly back to lane, gets the shove into the turret. But they'll have to make sure that they do not go too aggressive, because Braum is there if they get a stun off on either of them. They're pretty squishy in this case. However, Senna will have a hard time in this game to get stacks, because there is no melee support like in last game. That being said, we're almost loaded up in the Rift here. This will be the second game of the groups for KV Mechelen Academy in this Winter Benelux versus AeS. And remember, this game, the loser goes home this weekend and the winner goes through to the round of 16. So this is a deciding match.
Both teams are on 0-1, so as you said, indeed, loser of this game yeets off back to where they came from, and the other one goes through to the round of 16, which in my knowledge area is still a best of 3. Of course, this is still group phase. It is a best of 1. 30 seconds for the minions to spawn. Champions have spawned in. Both teams just going for a little bit of a defend your jungle move and know where they are. I don't know what that ping was, but, sure. Why not?
Just a little motivational ping, maybe?
Always good. Always want to have the motivational pings. As Garank, once again, 80 carry Senna, no support Senna. The souls are going to take a little bit longer than usual to actually come down for the Senna and pick them up. And again, Braum, we saw it last game as well, support with the minion dematerializer. It's going to be the same thing this time.
They are looking here for a potential late invade. They have the Braum early,
Warded.
which is so powerful. They are being spotted here by the ward, but that doesn't stop them. 3 people in the brush. Can they get the catch?
Oh, the Seraphine in the bush. Gonna find the bind. Is gonna be enough. They need to use the heal. Ollie going really low, but he finds first blood. Eventually, a return kill here for Garank. Senna finding that one. They need to double flash, but now Azir is there coming in late as Sans is gonna go really, really low. Hank could possibly greed for it, of course. Would be the dumbest decision in the world. And level 1 already a little bit of a fiesta in the jungle. Both picking up 1 kill.
Last game we saw almost no play from the junglers until 15 minutes. And this game they both die level 1 at the buff, which is of course something that we rather much see. And it almost immediately tags this game as a fiesta instead of a siesta. So good job on these 2 teams for showing this. Top lane will be interesting as well. We have 2 bruiser duelists going head to head. Of course, Mortar being unpackable on the Wukong. Wonder if he will be able to get some solo kills here, but instead he gets a smack on the face from Steel Armor. This Aatrox, of course, being very obnoxious in the melee matchup, able to just spam those Darkin Blades time and time again.
The bottom lane of KV, of course, a little bit of an advantage with the double range versus the melee support. However, Senna, of course, there to bring in the heals as Mortar and Steel Armor in the top lane. Gonna trade early on. Mid lane doing a bit of the same. Is it gonna be another 50-minute game? I doubt it, Moonprince. But, you know, everything is possible as both bottom laners find the level 2. The bind is gonna be hit onto Mindrago. Is it gonna be enough? Shouldn't be. Garank going pretty low himself. You know, they have the heals, however, from the Seraphine in the bottom lane, so Mindrago should be fine. Popping a potion as well, and it looks like they are gonna go for this Rift. Sorry, the Scuttle Crab in the bottom side of the map, going towards KVM. Of course, the 2 Scuttle Crabs pretty important early on. The jungler that gets it is, you know, quite an amount ahead already off the bat. And it looks like Hecarim is going to skip his blue buff and going to go straight for the second Scuttle as well, despite his top laner being pushed in.
This is great because you have the vision, you have everything that you need to control the enemy, and Rengar is hovering this bottom side. Of course, he is playing against an Ezreal. He doesn't have flash, but he has his arcane shift, so the target will probably be Bisco, who doesn't have the flash. They tag him as well. Oh, this is a dead support if I ever saw one.
Should be dead. Seraphine needs to get 1 or 2 more casts off. Guardian is going to be enough. It's going to be a kill eventually for Ezreal as Rengar tanks 1 too many turret shots. This should be a double kill. They're looking. Oh, wow. He goes really low, however, and gets really close to winning. If Mindrago has 1 more arcane shift, he might find the triple. He does not find it eventually. And Kos really playing with fire here. Bisco, he could have used his heal there, but he uses the double Q to push in lane with the Ezreal. And double kill early on for Ezreal. 10 farm ahead. Gives him a 500 gold lead. Guardian coming in clutch, very much.
And this play hits on so many levels as well, because you have the Hecarim picking up the 2 scuttles in the river. He keeps jungling, he keeps getting XP, and meanwhile Rengar dying to the enemy bot lane together with one of his laners. I mean, Rengar is so behind at this point. It is really hard to come back and will make the same impact as Ollie will later in the stages, because we've seen his Hecarim before. Once he starts ganking, he just doesn't stop. And soon he will have no camp to clear anymore because he's just going for the power farm. He will definitely go for those lanes. However, the setup is a little bit harder this game round because you do not have the lockdown on bot lane, which we are used to from Bisco. But as I say, that Garank might be in trouble.
Senna, of course, still has the flash, gonna use it as well. Finds the bind onto Ollie, stopping them from continuing the dive, which probably they wouldn't have done regardless. But, you know, better safe than sorry. Now that the flash on Senna is down, they could possibly, you know, we know Ollie on the Hecarim could come in with a return gank, has the ignite as well. A lot of kill pressure.
And again, they are going to pick up this first Drake. We have to commend KVM for their very constant level of early game pressure that they show time and time again. I don't think I've seen many games in the Open Tour where they were not able to pick up these early objectives. They played really well together, because when Ollie is going for the scuttle, the bot lane makes sure to have pressure, so there is not much opportunity for it to be contested by the enemy jungler. And those Drakes, yeah, they just keep going in their favor, so it doesn't matter that Mandrago has 4 champions banned against him. I'll just play Ezreal, I'll make sure I have the same pressure. It's fine. And meanwhile, Hank trading a little bit back and forth with the Doctorkin there. Mid lane, it's a little bit in favor of him, and oh, there is the pony.
That's where the pony comes in. Clutch is going to use his combination again of ultimate into the big knockback as well, finding the kill and even the flash. So that's huge for the guys on the side of KVM. There's no teleport on Orianna, there's no flash. He's basically screwed.
Holy's ganks are always so clean. He still didn't use the ignite because it is of course something that he does. Running the smite ignite to make sure that his presence in the backline cannot go unnoticed. He will make sure that kill falls. And yeah, you see he hits 6 first. That makes not there yet to combo with Doctorkin. Will need that help now as he has the lead. Even bot lane from AeS in trouble. Oh, Visco
Yikes.
flashing in for the kill.
Was that the flash auto attack with his passive?
Yeah, it definitely
That's all it was, right? That's all it was. So so Seraphine has this stupid thing where not only she can poke for a billion years and has double casts, her auto attacks from time to time just do extra damage. Because, you know, it looks like a Kai'Sa Q, basically is a Kai'Sa Q. As Mind Drago's base gets stopped and now he's mad. Are you kidding me, dude?
He mad shooting besides the wave and sounds protecting it as well. So that was a questionable barrage, but you know, we'll take it. And Garink also not using the heal when Bisco flashed in. Of course, you never really expect the support to flash under your turret to kill you, but it happens here, and it means that your bot lane is quite a bit CS behind. You can see already a 1.2k gold lead for my Drago alone, and
no.
there is a combo on mid lane.
Yeah, the
Beautiful.
shockwave came down at the end, but a great roam there by Bisco on the Seraphine. He knew his Ezreal was fine. He had nothing to really be scared about there in the bottom side of the map, so he could just go roam in. Came in from the top side as well, which is very unexpected, of course, for the sport to come in for a gank from the top side of the map. And then once again, great shuffle there by Henk Henkerson on the Azir, followed up by the Charm. Of course, still no flash on Orianna. Can't get out of that one. Rengar just too late.
Oh, this is a dive.
This is going to be an insane dive. Senna is going to use the ultimate. Is going to be enough? Not at all. The Ignite once again does get used this time, but that's where Rengar is going to come in. Bisco is going to go down. Shutdown is huge here for Rengar. Going to give him a bit of extra gold to actually come back into this game, as Mortar is going to try and battle it out with Steel Arm. And having quite a bit of trouble here. Not winning the trades. Behind in farm. Steel Armor playing a decent game.
And Rengar picking up a kill here on Bisco is important because for people that don't know, Rengar has his passive called Bone Tooth Necklace, where every time he gets a unique takedown on an enemy champion, he gets extra damage. So stacking up that nicely, if he can get them all, he has like, what, 24% or something extra, which is
range.
huge. Meanwhile, it's an all-in on top lane.
It is an all-in with another gank. Oh, Steel Armor going really low. Is it going to be enough with the red buff? Ah, the third! It's going to be enough. Eventually, Steel Armor going really low. And I think it's Hecarim's W that procced the red buff, burning down Steel Armor slowly but very surely.
That was a next level play from like Hecarim, you know, using every tool that you have to kill someone just by walking almost next to him. Beautiful. And now bot lane going for the aggression again. The bind lands. Is it enough?
Another fight in the bottom lane. Mandrago going really low. The True Shot Barrage is gonna get flashed away. Double TP coming in as well. Steel Armor gonna go for the Ezreal, but that's where Wukong says, you can go for my AD, I'll go for yours. Mine isn't gonna die. Yours is. Double kill. Another shuffle there. Shuffles him basically onto his really low AD carry. And a great jump there from Mandrago, picking up not only the kill, but also jumping away from Orianna, who had roamed to the bottom lane. This looks like maybe second Drake for KVM will be picked up after the win in the bottom lane.
They make sure that everyone is there, the TPs are coming in, and they get the picks where they need to. Ringer needs to stealth out of here. He is close, but don't think that going for the steal is an option at this point. So the second dragon will be picked up, and we will see which rift we are entering. It will be a mountain rift. Not really important for both teams, because tanks weren't in the shop, I believe, for this match.
Tanks were sold out temporarily. Of course, you know, on the Braum, interesting. On Hecarim, on Aatrox, that's gonna help them out a bit once they jump into the backline. in the team fights, assuming this Drake should go over and will go over towards KVM though, as they do pop the Herald in the mid lane. Ollie is there, however, to try and stop it. Doesn't find enough damage though. Of course, the first charge is going to come down, and now another fight in the top lane as Mortar juking quite a bit of damage there. He has the Wukong down, which of course, not really news. Ooh, TP from Orianna coming in from behind. This could be huge. My Drago, I don't believe he has
Oh, that is
his
harsh.
essence, his jump up yet. He doesn't have his flash either. He is going to be able to jump away eventually, but gets taken down. Shut down to Orianna.
And that is very important, of course. Doctor can have a little bit of a rough lane with Ollie galloping in there, and it's so often getting that shutdown from Mindrago is important. And it is interesting that Mindrago went Essence River first item. Oh, bot lane, that is carnage.
That is an insane combination. Are they going to find the kill eventually? Senna goes down. Gering, meanwhile, 1 and 5. The Braum does survive. The combination, though, the charm of the Seraphine, followed by the onslaught of shadows with the fear from Hecarim. Ollie 5 really showing that if he gets the freedom, if he gets the, the area to move around and basically do what he wants to do, his Hecarim is really, really scary.
Oh, nice juke from Hank. Not gonna get caught out by that shockwave, and I'm a little bit sad that they didn't combo the ball on Rengar with the jump. It's so much easier to hit there, but doesn't go through. As I was saying, my Drago went for Essence Reaver first buy, which is something I haven't really seen on Ezreal. Might be the way to go. I don't know. I always thought you would go tier into Manamune, but with changes, maybe he just prefers the damage and will get the mana from this item instead. And with that extra knife picked up, he will go fairly hard into the lethality build, I feel.
Of course, with the Essence Reaver, he does get quite a bit of mana back every time he weaves an auto attack in between those abilities, which on Ezreal is, of course, relatively easy and really strong. So he could just get his mana back that way. Doesn't really need the tier, I suppose. The thing I'm more curious about is the fact that he went for Serrated Dirk, meaning he's going Eclipse or possibly Duskblade on this Ezreal. Or
Yeah,
is he
because
just
the
gonna
Ezreal
go?
could be
Or
a thing.
is he gonna go another legendary item with the Collector and then Mythic? That would be even stranger.
Mortar showing a lot of respect here. Knows that Mad Max is near. Doesn't want to get taken down. Meanwhile, Herald being popped mid. Orianna might be in danger, of course. Ollie could go for a dive again. But everyone playing very cautious, respecting that pressure from the enemy. And Dr. Kim tries to clear the wave. But the second charge goes off anyway.
The top laner, Steel Armor, might be in a bit of trouble. The Onslaught of Shadows is gonna hit. The Fear was really close. True Shot Bar is gonna come through. Needs to flash the Seraphine ult, as now Hank Higginson is gonna go into the mid lane. That the rest of the team is there as well. Rengar ult gonna be used. Hank Higginson gonna go really low. He's gonna flash away. Yes, he is, but Mad Max comes in behind him. Doctor gonna go in pretty low. Guardian gonna come in clutch. Well, not really clutch this time, but does come in. They find the Fission, but the Popcorn is gonna bring them into safety.
I think that is another unique takedown for Mad Max. He had the Hecarim early, he had the Seraphim bot lane, and now he gets Hank in his pocket as well. 2 more to go. Ezreal and Hecarim.
3 more to go.
No, Ezreal and Mortar still need to go down. The rest is already picked up, so he is stacking up quite nicely. And even I was surprised by the damage he was already putting out on Azir, even though you know that Hecarim just does that constantly. It is starting to get scary when he does it already on 16 minutes. So important for KVM Mechelen that he is not able to keep snowballing, and especially that he's not able to get a huge shockwave off if the ball is on him as well.
Yeah, Rengar, by the way, just a little correction, he needs 3 more. He only has 2 kills. The first one on Hecarim didn't go his way. I think Senna picked that one up, so he still needs the Hecarim. Or does the assist count as well?
Assist count, I think it's just takedowns.
Okay, so then yes, he doesn't need the Hecarim anymore. Then he needs 2 more on the Seraphine and Mortis Wukong. which, you know,
Oh no, it's
possibly.
skills. It's skills. I'm sorry. It is two.
Haha.
He does need a kill.
I win! What do
So
I
he is
get?
at award for being right once.
Nice. Lovely as the ult flash gonna come in from Seraphine. Oh, well, so Oriana has not mastered the skill of using right mouse button to move.
There's Rengar with ult.
Rengar is gonna come in with the ult. Who's he gonna jump on looking for Seraphine? Of course, that's the one he still needs here. Is it gonna be enough? However, does get taken down. Eventually, Ollie 5 gonna find them. Double Cyclone here. The Azir ult missing completely. But, you know, still quite a lot of damage with the soldiers, of course, and they look to take down the first inhibitor turret of this game in the mid lane at 18 minutes. And Wukong once again looking for the engage. They're gonna look for a lot of damage. However, Braum pretty tanky with that shield up, with the door in front of his face, and says, "Stand behind, Braum." I'm gonna die, but still. Stand behind. Hecarim fails the popcorn, and yeah, 1 minute for Baron. 20-minute Baron, possibly.
And it is nice from KVM that they are able to play this level of game still after they just played almost an hour-long game against Sector 1, which was really exhausting, but they still show that it doesn't matter. The early game is their domain. They pick all the objectives, all the fights are in their favor, as they usually are. And for now, it doesn't really seem like AeS has any hold of getting back to this game. They do have some surprise damage with the Rengar. Aatrox is completely shut down. Doesn't really have any pressure to flank this KVM squad. And yeah, Senna, she needs to scale. She's 1 in 5. It is delayed a little bit. There is still a long way from being that menace with 140 sticks that we saw earlier. So this is hard for AeS. They do want to play a low-pace game against KVM. Of course, if they cannot finish, they can still throw, as we've seen before. And they are pinging the Baron, which is gonna go up in 20 minutes, but maybe a solo kill for Doctorkin.
Shockwave on Henkerson uses his ultimate again, completely going wide. This time they do find a kill in the mid lane, sorry. However, for KVM, Senna taken down, but also Azir going down. And it's a 1-for-1 trade, globally speaking. And ooh, it is gonna be 20-minute Baron.
There we go. This is the big play, because AeS not even close to stop this, and it's going super fast as well, of course. Hecarim, Wukong, and Ezreal, all damage dealers. This Baron doesn't stand a chance. He is being bullied for his lunch money, and they say, give it up. There is the buff. 20 minute 35 Baron for KV. We've said before that they aren't not really able to end games early. Well, maybe they're gonna prove us wrong in this game.
Yeah, this time around, once again, really far ahead. They have an 8k gold lead at 20 minutes, which is ridiculous. And they have the Baron to push as well at 21 minutes, which is ridiculous. And it does look like they're going to be mocking on the top lane inhibitor turret. Might be a fight coming through here as Mortar. His clone gets smacked, which, you know, is fine. And they're going to keep pushing here. Azir in the bottom lane, Rengar in the bottom lane as well. So it is a 4v4 in the top lane. Ooh, he's going to find Rengar eventually to stop the base, keeping it a 4v4. But it doesn't look like KVM wants to continue this fight. Look at the damage, however, from Hank Ankerson's Azir. One more poke from the Q. Is it going to be enough? He runs too fast, finds a slow flash Q.
Hey.
It's going to be enough. Hank still knows how to play Azir after all these years.
Gets the solo kill there from Mad Max. He wasn't able to escape. And that does mean that the next dragon, gotta check here for the timer, is gonna be up in 20 seconds, which means they will go for that Mountain Soul. And yeah, KV in the driver's seat shouldn't lose this game anymore unless they do a huge throw, huge mistake, because AeS don't really have the tools to force engages here.
At this point, AeS doesn't really have a lot they can do. There's no real objectives up that they can take. Mid lane turret, top lane turret, outer turrets both are still up, but they don't really have anything to pressure
Ooh,
it
the
as they
ult.
find another ult onto the Orianna. She's gonna not be able to move for quite a while. They can't find the follow-up, and now Mad Max with his top laner gonna find the chase onto Mortar. Is it gonna be enough, however, to get the kill as well? Mortar gonna look for a
All
1v2
the damage.
situation. Look at the damage onto Mad Max.
This
Even the double
guy.
kill should be there for the Wukong. Flashes the last knockup. Double kill for Mortar's Wukong. Don't do that, guys. You know his Wukong is pretty sick. Just don't. He was 2-0-2 with a Gore Drinker. That's it.
He was just Beyblading all over them, and that might very well be the game. KV Mechelen running in with the Baron buff still on. They are going to try to finish here if AeS still want to have one hope
Oh wow.
of staying in open turrets here, but it is gonna be too little too late. Dr. Kim going down.
It is not going to be enough for AES. They're going to get knocked out of this open tour. The Zero ult going to be used just to push them away, basically, as Rengar does find another kill eventually, and now KVM just going for kills, looking for a better KDA. Mortar says, guys, it's fine. We won the game. We lost the last one. Don't throw it for any reason. And they are going to find their first win for this open tour in this group phase, ending their group phase in a 1-1 final score. Lost, of course, the first game to Sector 1 in the most insane game in the open tour thus far, I believe. I haven't seen anything aside from KVM games, but it looks like this might have been the craziest game. And then they
It's
pick up
definitely a good contender.
probably at least the nominee, and they find the win eventually against AES, which means they go straight through to the round of 16. They don't